Hey guys, I've got two new Iranian friends that I meant to tell you about, Fatima and Tahira. We've had a wonderful week here together, we've been working together and we've been getting to know each other, and they both have interesting perspectives, I think, that are again somewhere in the middle between extremism of Pahlavism and Zionism and then a regime stooge, as they call them in the West, because most normal human beings are normal and they have a range of thoughts and opinions on everything. So, without further ado, I might turn to you first, Fatima.
Okay.
And you said something earlier on in one of our live streams that was very, very interesting, and I actually had a couple of questions about it. That you said that you felt like you were even propagandized about your own country within your own country, because I thought that would happen to Iranians in the diaspora, but you were saying that actually happened to you as an Iranian here.
Yeah, okay, so I'm Gen Z, by the way.
Yeah.
So for
you identify
us,
as Gen Z, like,
proudly, actually. Yeah, so because like I guess I'm younger, it was super easy for like my generation to get like completely brainwashed by the propaganda.
Yeah.
Because like we're spending a lot of time on social media, on TikTok, YouTube, Netflix, whatever, And whenever like you were spending so much time on those platforms, you will end up being like, I want a more luxury life. I want to have a Ferrari. I want to be able to have a Chanel blush.
Yes,
or like I want a Dior lipstick, But because of the sanctions, like those things are not really like an option for us. And apart from that, for a very, very, very long time, I was told that you have literally no future in Iran.
Yes.
Like, if you want to have a high education, if you want to get your master's in English literature, if you want to get your PhD in English literature,
got to go.
You need to go. Like, you have zero. You're not going to have any future in Iran. So for a very long time, I was like deeply brainwashed by Western propaganda. But after the beginning of the imposed war, I felt like my insights completely changed. I was feeling like, you know what? I don't care about having a Ferrari anymore. I don't care about having a lipstick anymore. And I really want to get rid of this, if you want to make it more simple, I want to be able to fight Zionism, and I really want a better place for my children.
Yeah. And it seems like there's two different things there in a way, because one is like a capitalist sort of almost debauched type of thing of, we want lots of stuff. So that's commercialism and individualism.
Marketing.
Marketing, exactly. But higher education is a different thing, because I'm learning the extent to which Iranians, particularly Iranian women, are some of the most well-educated people in the world. So how did you, because you're smart, and I assume a lot of your friends are smart and they're well-educated, how did you buy that aspect of propaganda that you maybe just heard it so many times you were like, maybe we are dumb? How did you buy that? Do you know what I mean?
You mean like the education part or like the marketing part?
Because you said like if you want to get your PhD, you got to go somewhere else. Well, why can't you get your PhD in Iran when you're so well educated? You know what I mean?
Honestly,
I'm talking about propagandized Fatima now.
Okay, let me tell you something super weird. For us, not going to the university is not an option. Like, we need to get our bachelor degree. Like, if you reach the age of 18 and you go to your parents and tell them that I don't want to go to university, your parents would be like, what the hell?
You're gonna have a problem.
You're not going to go to the university, then leave.
Wow.
You need to get your bachelor degree. But honestly, I have no idea why most of us were thinking that way.
I suppose if you hear something enough that you just start to believe it,
really.
So Tahira, what's your sort of version of this journey? Have you had ups and downs in your belief in your own country? Because you spent a lot of time in South Africa, you left early, and then you've spent a lot of time in Ireland. What's the effect of living in other countries and their perspective on Iran? What does that do to your own kind of concept and perspective on your own country?
Yeah, so I suppose my experience would be different to Fatima. I am also older than her, but I think it makes you appreciate what you have in Iran. So I always, in every trip that we used to do to Iran, like I used to tell my cousins, friends, like guys, it's really not that bad here, because you get to experience everything with
such a low ceiling, isn't it? It's not that bad. I mean, it's bad.
Yeah, but
Actually, that's quite Irish as well, though. Like, it's actually not that bad. Board Fáilte, Irish tourism. It's not that bad.
Yeah,
Sorry.
so to come, it's honestly not that bad. But yeah, you get to appreciate certain things like that you have. And the older you become, you do get to really like focus on certain things like, oh my God, we really do that well, or that's what's missing in the country that I'm living. But Fatima was right, like the propaganda is so strong that even though I saw those things, I would still be like, no, but maybe there's a reason. Maybe it is better to go to university elsewhere.
Yes.
But when I started seeing like, so much of improvement in certain areas in Iran, like us being probably the leading sort of scientists when it comes to IVF or other things, in science and technology. And when you start to realize that you have this much, you then dismantle everything in your mind.
Yes.
But that really comes with experience, that comes with age, because it's hard when you are a youngster to kind of not go with what the crowd wants. So I did, like, for a very long time kind of regurgitate what everybody else was saying. But as I'm growing older, I'm really starting to see the differences.
Yes.
And I really appreciate the fact that my parents raised me in a way where we still had a lot of contact with Iran, because I regularly meet some of my friends who they also left Iran when they were very young, but they wouldn't have the same connection that I would. And that's so really because my parents kept saying, we're still going to go back. We have the roots. Like, we may have moved out and made that decision, but we have to go back to our roots.
Pride in where you're from.
Yes, and take pride in where you come from.
And something I was going to ask you particularly as well is, like, living in Ireland. So the maybe 2 or 3 Iranian people I know in Cork, when they see me, it's very much like, oh, thank God somebody who understands is in the room with me, because they do feel like Ireland, they have lots of great things to say about Ireland, but the establishment of Ireland doesn't understand Iran at all. Like, have you had frustrations with people's perspective on you being supportive of your government in its kind of hour of existential need?
Yes, especially, when I initially moved to Ireland, like, firstly, people don't know anything about Iran. It's all the things, like, I remember actually before coming to Iran on this trip, there was something missing in my car. I went to get the parts from the dealership. And then the guy who was helping me at the counter said to me, look, I'm going to call you whenever I have it. And I said, look, I'm going to be away for the next 2 weeks. I'm traveling to my home country, so if you can email me, that would be great. So he was like, oh, where are you going to? And I said, Iran. And he was absolutely shocked. Like, why would you want to go there? The women are repressed. And I'm like, you're telling me that I'm...
Not that bad.
I'm like, you're telling me that I'm oppressed. Whilst he could see, like, he knows me for a while. He knows where I work, and and obviously we then started a conversation, and I was like, of course, if you are listening to mainstream media, you are going to believe that we are oppressed. But so I started breaking it down for him, and then he had this idea as well that him as a Christian, if he is to come to Iran, that he's going to be severely disrespected because he had a bad experience in some other country. And I really had to break it down, and it was that day that I realized, like, now that I'm coming to Iran, I really have a journey. I have to start talking about certain things, even though, like, it wasn't my favorite thing to be in front of a camera or what, but, like, for a very long time we've kept quiet, Tadhg. Especially when the war, the illegal war happened. It was then that I realized I was silent for a very long time. I knew it deep down. Like, I would go to even some of my Iranian friends, and they would start criticizing a lot of things in Iran. And deep down, I knew that not all of it was right. Like, you can't look at things in a black and white way. But I never had the audacity or the courage to say, no, actually, I disagree with you. And why are you saying that? But when the war happened, and I saw the way, like, my country was defending itself, this is further than you agreeing with the agendas of the government, or you agreeing with any religious sort of affiliation. This is only about keeping the sovereignty of a country, and that's what I was interested in.
Of course.
So like that was the moment when I started speaking out and saying, no, actually I want to stick behind my country, and that's when I lost a lot of the friendships.
Yes.
Yep.
And so Fatima, I won't keep you guys much longer now because we've agreed this was going to be short and sweet, and we're hanging around outside a hotel, which is never safe. But Fatima, like, you don't live in Ireland. You have, which is, you know, I would maybe ultimately like to see you living in Ireland at some point if you're interested, so that we can hang out. But you lived through this illegal, immoral war.
Yes.
So what was it like? I suppose first of all, in terms of for the average person in the West wouldn't, I don't think, understand the terror.
Oh my God.
The daily terror of living under bombardment, but also what happened for you in your perception of your own country, with the degree to which it held its head high and fought these really depraved powers to a negotiating table, or actually I would say fought them to a standstill.
I know. Okay, so the first things that like all people around the world are telling us is that do not trust US and Israel, and it's like, you know, we already know that, like, you know, you cannot really rely on their lies, so we already know. And about the imposed war, I'm still traumatized.
Of course you are.
Even my cat is still traumatized, you know? And like, it was like every day you're living through hell, but at the same time, you know that like there is a meaning behind it. Like, they started this war because like we are the last front line, you know.
Absolutely.
And we're trying our best to like not stay silent, and we really want a free world, really want a free Palestine, and we're not talking about like a useless Palestine. Like, we want them to we want them to have their power back. And I wanted to mention another thing, but I forgot.
It'll come back to you, like, it'll come back to you.
Give me a second.
But now, give me your thoughts on surely because I get that sense of you, the pride in your country, you know. You know, that must have surely gone to another level in the fact that.
Oh, it wasn't like this actually. I wasn't
really.
No. Oh my God, it was a time that I was just like, God, like I could have had so many chances of like being born in another country. Like, dear God, why Iran?
Wow.
You know. But like literally after the beginning of the imposed war, like, you know that internet was shut down for a very, very long time. And after like we got back online, I realized that, oh my God, so many people are talking about Iran. Like, oh my God, like all of a sudden it's not Iran and it's Iran, finally. And so I was very happy. And from that moment, I realized that, okay, now I want to get to know my country. Like, now I'm not afraid of telling that we have a deep culture. And like, now I'm very proud to be an Iranian.
That is so beautiful. Well, I'm very proud to know you guys and count you as friends at this point, I think. And I have had such, if it doesn't sound like an inappropriate thing to say on the occasion of a funeral, but I have had some of the most memorable experiences of my life this week. So thank you for everything, and I certainly love your country anyway, and I've never had any journey to go on, I don't think so.
That's so sweet of you.
Yeah, we have to take you to more places in Iran, but like, I think your support and you just being here means a lot to us.
Definitely.
Because it dismantles a lot of things in the mind of like the Irish people where you live, or further than that, people who watch your shows and listen to you. It really starts to make a change in their mind.
Something as simple, I think, as two extremely likeable, well-educated women having a conversation about their country is quite radical. No, it is though, because like the level of kind of misinformation and sort of monstrification of Iran is at that level that, you know, didn't your sister say earlier, or who was it was saying they were, you know, surprised about the attack in Manab because they didn't know that you guys sent your children to school.
Exactly.
I mean, like, it's on a level of propaganda I don't think I can kind of get my head around. Like, so you're starting from a very low point. So just having people speak their truth about their country and be really nice human beings is probably quite a radical act, you know. So
literally.
thank you so much, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.